Hello guys and welcome back. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. So I actually wanted to go over some of my crafts with you today. In my first video, I stated that I was going to be, or that I'm working on an Etsy shop, which I still am actively working on, as well as resale information and all the goodies that go with it. So I actually just wanted to give you a review of some of the things that I've made, and if there is something that you like, please let me know down in the comments box like normal. And I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you like the video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, comment, and or subscribe to my channel. So the first thing I want to show you is actually one of the beanies that I've made. And this is all hand crocheted. I do not use a loom. This is all done by hand the old-fashioned way. And it's this guy right here. And I will apologize in advance. I know my lighting is a little bad. But this is actually a fitted beanie. I do also make slouchy beanies, which I know are very popular, and that's actually why I don't have any to show you. I have completely sold out of them. And just so you kind of can get an idea of how fitted these guys are, they are very thick yarn, but they are very fitted. I don't know, I really like that snug fit, especially if you're going to do like snowboarding or doing something like that. A lot of the times the slouchy beanies don't do much for you. So these are very thick, they do cover my ear, and they are very, very comfortable, and they are tight when you get them, so that's something to be aware of. They are very, very tight, but once you wear them a little bit, they will actually loosen up, so don't worry too much about it. Now, I've actually tried to show these on camera, and for some reason they do not focus, so please forgive me, please. Now, I do make jewelry. And everything that I make is out of either glass bead, it's premium glass bead, it's crystal, it's all real crystal, and I'm actually allergic to nickel. So everything that I work with has to be real, otherwise I have a terrible reaction to it. So that was one of the things I always had issues with, and I was trying to find something for myself, is that everything that was made or that I could buy was made out of a cheap material, and I couldn't do anything with it, and I don't feel like coating it with nail polish just to wear it for a very short time and risk a reaction. So when it came time for me to make something, I wanted to make sure that it was a very good quality. Now this is actually one thing that I've made. It doesn't really show up on camera. I'll try to put it up against my beanie so you guys can see it. This is actually all glass bead as well as crystal, and I'm going to actually be putting up pictures of these as well so you can see what I'm talking about, but I also wanted you guys to be able to see it physically and see the depth and the width and the weight, and these are actually relatively heavy. They're very well made. They're all made with a, I believe it's 40 to 60 pound or 60 weight line, and it all have all the clasps and enclosures and everything are all sterling silver. And I do have different types of clamps, or enclosures. Some people prefer one type, I prefer these. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but there are 3 different colors of crystal on here. There is a gray, a clear, and a black. I think it gives it a much better look, and if you see them in person, this isn't doing it justice, let's put it that way. Now, one of the earrings that I have is one of my favorites. It's an amethyst. It's a very vintage looking style, and I make a lot of chandelier earrings, but this is a amethyst and an antique gold earring with some cream and lavender glass beads and some amethyst crystal down at the bottom. I've made another one, and I've tried to show this one on camera before, and it doesn't really do it justice. It's a green cluster with an aurora crystal down at the bottom, so it has a very nice array of color, very full spectrum, but it has more of a green hue to it. And this one has a more of a cluster down at the bottom. It's a little bit fuller, so it kind of flares out a little bit, and these have amazing color, and these are green and black. You can kind of see it there finally. And these are quite a bit shorter than the other ones that I make, so if I put it up next to my ear, you have a good idea of what length you're talking about. And these are also very lightweight. And for those of you that like something with a little bit more edge, little bit more flair. I don't know, I personally like these a lot, and they seem to sell out very well because it's a nice mix between something that's a little bit more edgy and eye-catching, but it's still very feminine. I have made these guys right here, and they are a silver and black glass bead, and there's a little stone skull down at the bottom. He's actually made out of howlite, and there, it doesn't really show up on camera, but there is a Chinese crystal down at the bottom, and they have excellent color in the light. They really are eye-catching, and so it gives you a little bit more edge without being too masculine. You still have your feminine flair, and they also are quite a bit smaller too, so it's not so in your face. Next up, I also do make things out of a lot of reclaimed materials, a lot of naturals. I'm very into reusing and repurposing and trying to reduce the impact that I have on the environment. And one of the things that I do work with, this guy is a little hard to see, but this is all hemp. I wash these by hand and I scrub the line or the string because it makes them move. I don't know if you've ever had a new hemp bracelet, but they're very stiff, they're very rigid, and they're very itchy. So these guys I soak them in a fabric softener, and I scrub them, I wash them, and this guy is actually amber chips as well as I always call it sandstone, but it's not. It's a, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's a really fine, like, glittery stone. And it comes in many different colors. I can't think of the name of it right now. I'll probably end up putting it down in the description box below. And I usually close everything off with a button. It's easy to get on, it's easy to get off, and it's a little bit more eye-catching. It's very simple. I think it's the best way to go. Now, I do have a larger variety of bracelets and earrings and everything, and I'm going to show you those right now. Give me just a minute. I hope these all show up. I am working with bad lighting, which I'll go into later. This is actually, hopefully you guys can hear me and see me. These guys are a little bit more simple. They are longer right over here. And then I also have this guy right here, which is actually in person. It's a very peacock kind of color. It's very pretty. And I'll just scan along these guys so you can see everything. There's a few more bracelets. And unfortunately, the camera's not doing it justice. You guys can kind of see some of the length on these guys. And I will show you how long these are. These are very long, and I forgot to show you, they have there's a bracelet, and then I have a pendant as well as a matching set of earrings, so you can actually buy them as a match set. This is actually a larger version of the first one that I showed you. And these guys down at the tail end over here, hopefully I can show you the ones that they have a little skull at the bottom too. So you have a little bit more feminine flair, they're a little bit longer, but they still have a little bit of edge. But I'm going to take one of these off and I'll show you the length that they are next to my head so you have an idea. So if I were to put this on my ear, they almost brush my shoulders. I think they're an incredible statement piece. You can see a little bit of the color as well. Camera's not doing them justice, but I will try to put up pictures like I said previously, so you guys can get a really good idea of what they look like. And the weight, they are not heavy. I know that a lot of the other pieces that I've picked up before, that I have bought before in the past or gotten ideas from or really liked or bought as gifts, they're really heavy. And things, when you have something that has that length to it and you're moving all day, they constantly tug on your ears and it gets so uncomfortable. It's not great for a long time wear. So that is something that I did want to take into account, is the weight and the wearability and the versatility of an item. So if there is something that you like, have a question about or anything, please leave it down in the comments box below and I will definitely get back to you. As soon as I get my Etsy account going, I'm going to be putting the link down in the description box below so you guys can follow that as well. And as soon as I get my professional website going as well, I'll put that down in the description box and you can see really clear images of everything that I have. Now, something else that I do is I work with canvas bags and I actually draw on them. I don't know if you guys noticed my cover art or my channel art. That's something that I personally drew. And I do transfer a lot of those things to canvas, and I'm also working on getting prints of those made, so if there is something that somebody really likes, rather than selling the original, I'm making reproductions of them as well so they can be mass produced. So one of the bags that I'm actually working on right now, it's a little bit of it's a work in progress, and it's actually, I'm trying to really show all of my versatility on one bag because it's a bag that I carry with me on most days, and it kind of displays some of what I'm capable of, and it always seems to catch everybody's eye and they want to know where I got it. So it's a great advertising piece. Let me go ahead and grab that and let me know what you think. Now, I'm a big fan of bohemian style. I always have been. And so I wanted to really recreate that with one of my bags to really show people, and it's also very in right now, so I wanted to show what I can do basically. So hopefully this shows up in camera. Hopefully you guys can see everything that's going on. I've got a bunch of different flowers, love, and I've also got a almost a henna type design. In the middle there's a French, it's French, it says "Tu m'aimes," it means I miss you. And there's also a tree and a skeleton key and a peace sign and a sleeping moon and a little face and some tie-dye. And I didn't misspell peace, it actually says pace. It's peace in Italian. And that's actually just one of the things that I'm working on right now. So I am, hopefully, if I can get everything in order, I will be doing custom orders for people or something. I want to make them more customizable. I want to make not just what I envisioned, but I want somebody to be able to really relate to it and, you know, say that they had it personalized to them. So even if I do a design, I'm going to probably do a banner or something where I can put a name down or something to really make it specific to that person, because there's nothing like having something custom for yourself. And that leads me on to my next topic. I'm going to be working on Etsy. It's still a work in progress, and apparently I've got a long way to go, but it is something for me to work towards. If you guys buy something off of Etsy, the biggest problem that people have as an Etsy seller is product recognition and name brand. That's the biggest thing. Whenever I've been out with somebody or I've really acknowledged what somebody has or something that I like and I ask them where they got it, they always tell me, oh, I got it on Etsy. Problem is, I don't know where on Etsy. So people aren't, unfortunately, that's the biggest flaw with Etsy, is there's no brand recognition. Because every time that I've heard somebody say that, they just say I bought it off of Etsy. So say, as an example, if somebody bought one of my products, they bought it from Mythical Minds on Etsy. So that's always a really, really difficult thing, because there's a lot of things on there that I like and I can never find because there's nobody remembers the seller. So every time that I sell something, I will include one of my business cards as well. So it has all my contact information as well as my business name. And that's so, so crucial, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of people on Etsy aren't successful, because there is no brand recognition. So if you do a product review or something that you bought off of Etsy, please, please, please make sure that you put their name in there somewhere. Make sure that their brand is recognized. It's the only way that they will have return business. So that's just definitely something to think about, and as soon as I get mine going, I will be more than happy to put the link down below and get you guys a glimpse of what I'm working on. So I think that's all I'm going to be covering for today. If you guys like what you see, please be sure to like the video, comment, and or subscribe to my channel. And as always, I'd like to thank you for stopping in, and have a fantastic day.